Ladies and gentlemen, wait, scratch that. Brothers in arms, fellow warriors navigating the battlefield of love and marriage. I'm Dr. Elias Thorne, a psychologist with over 30 years dissecting the raw, unfiltered wiring of human relationships. I've counseled thousands of men, just like you, from Wall Street wolves to Midwest dads, watching them crumble under the weight of chasing approval, only to rise like phoenixes when they flip the script. Today we're diving into 5 secrets to conquer every woman, whether she's your girlfriend firing off late-night texts or your wife of 20 years rolling her eyes at your honey-do list. But hold up, this isn't your grandma's rom-com playbook. Forget the dating coaches peddling pickup lines like they're selling used cars. Ditch the scripted texts that sound like they were ghostwritten by a desperate teenager. And for God's sakes, bury the nice guy tactics. The endless compliments, the foot-rubbing servitude, the "I'll change for you" groveling. Those are the velvet handcuffs that lock you in the friend zone faster than the Steelers fumble in the Super Bowl. I've seen it 1,000 times. Good men, solid providers, reduced to emotional doormats because they thought winning her over meant auditioning for the role of her personal cheerleader. No, gentlemen, I'm not handing you 5 shiny ways to impress her with flowers or fancy dinners. That's surface-level sleight of hand. What I'm giving you are 5 psychological nukes, battle-tested principles rooted in evolutionary psychology and attachment theory to fundamentally reprogram her attraction matrix toward you. Science backs this. Studies from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology show that women's arousal spikes not from security, but from the adrenaline rush of uncertainty, the same dopamine hit you get from a close-call drive on I-95. Helen Fisher's brain scans at Rutgers reveal that the fear of loss activates her reward centers more potently than constant validation ever could. Here's the biggest secret, the one that shatters the fairy tale. Women don't want to be won over like some trophy at the state fair. They crave the electric terror of potentially losing you. Think about it. Every rom-com ends with the guy chasing the girl through the airport. But in real life, if you're still convincing her after date 3, you've already lost the war. You're handing her the remote control to your emotional broadcast. This isn't about manipulation, it's about reclaiming power through psychology. It's delivering what she secretly yearns for deep in her primal core, a man she can't control, a rock in her storm who chooses his sovereignty over her chaos. Picture Mike, a 42-year-old mechanic from Detroit I worked with. He was the ultimate nice guy, bought her the ring, the house, even named their dog after her favorite band. But when she started flirting with the gym trainer, he begged, pleaded, promised therapy. She walked. 6 months later, after applying these secrets, he dated her best friend, effortlessly. Why? Because he stopped fearing the loss and started embodying it. Today, we're arming you with that same unbreakable edge. Buckle up, fellas. Your love life just got a regime change. All right, gentlemen, let's crank this engine and dive into secret number 1, emotional indifference. Picture this. You're at a backyard barbecue in suburban Ohio, flipping burgers with the guys when your phone buzzes. It's her, your wife of 15 years, or maybe that fiery new girlfriend who's got you second-guessing every text. "We need to talk," she types, the digital equivalent of a storm cloud rolling in. Your heart sinks, palms sweat, because deep down, you know what's coming. The drama dump, the litany of complaints about how you're not present enough, or how her friend's husband is so much more attentive. Sound familiar? That's the trap every red-blooded American man has stepped into at least once. Hell, maybe you're knee-deep in it right now. Here's the raw truth, backed by decades of my couch-side confessions and cold hard science. She banks on you being utterly terrified of losing her. That fear? It's her nuclear weapon, the ultimate power play in the relationship arsenal. Evolutionary psychologists like David Buss at the University of Texas call it the mate-guarding instinct, where women, wired from our caveman days, test your commitment by dangling the threat of abandonment. A 2018 study in Evolutionary Psychology journal hammered this home. Women report higher satisfaction when they sense their partner's anxiety over the relationship's fragility. It's not cruelty, it's biology. She pokes the bear to hear it roar, to confirm you're still hooked, still hers to steer. But brothers, that's where you flip the switch. The first secret to reprogramming her attraction? Complete emotional indifference. Not cold-hearted detachment. No, that's just resentment in a trench coat. This is Zen Master Calm, a deliberate choice to starve the drama of oxygen. When she unleashes the storm, you don't argue, plead, or counter with your own thunder. You match her energy with zero emotion, like a poker pro staring down a bluff on the Vegas Strip. She says, maybe we should see other people? Don't freeze up or launch into a defense of your undying love. Agree instantly with a casual shrug. That's a brilliant idea. I've been considering the same. Got a buddy's poker night lined up anyway. Boom. Disarmed. Why does this work like a charm? Psychology 101. It's the scarcity principle on steroids. Robert Cialdini's Influence Bible shows how humans crave what seems rare or at risk. By showing unflappable preference for your peace over her presence, you shatter her reality. Her power source, your fear, it's suddenly dead in the water. No more leverage. For the first time, she's staring at the mirror. Wait, does he even care? What if I lose this guy? That existential flip? It's her chasing you before the smoke clears. A meta-analysis in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships 2020 confirms it. Partners who display low emotional reactivity during conflicts report 40% higher long-term attraction levels. You're not playing games, you're embodying the rock she can't erode. Let me paint it real with Tom, a 38-year-old sales rep from Atlanta I coached last year. Married 12 years, 2 kids, the whole picket fence dream. But his wife, Sarah, had turned every disagreement into World War III. Yelling about his fantasy football obsession or late nights at the office. Tom, he'd cave every time, apologizing profusely, walking on eggshells like he was defusing a bomb. Result? She lost all respect, started eyeing the barista at Starbucks. We flipped the script. Next blow up over his selfish golf weekend? Tom went full indifference. Sounds good. I'll book the tea time. Hope you have a great weekend too. No sarcasm, no fight, just calm exit. Sarah? She called him 3 hours later, voice cracking. Wait, are you serious? Don't go. By Monday, she was planning date nights. 6 months in, their sex life reignited like a tailgate bonfire, and she's calling him her rock. Gentlemen, this isn't about being an asshole, it's reclaiming your center. Emotional indifference teaches her that your value isn't negotiable, it's inherent. You're the captain of your ship, not a passenger bailing water. Implement this and watch the dynamic shift. Her tests become tributes. Her drama dissolves into desire. You've got the wheel now. Who's ready for secret 2? Gentlemen, welcome to the Forge, where real men are tempered. Secret number 2, the non-negotiable self. Imagine you're that classic American dad. Say Jack from a quiet cul-de-sac in Phoenix, Arizona. You've got the 9-to-5 grind at the auto plant, coaching Little League on weekends, and come Friday night, it's sacred. Beers with the boys at the local dive bar, swapping stories about the latest Diamondbacks meltdown or that one time your buddy's truck rolled into a ditch during a tailgate. It's your recharge, your unfiltered slice of brotherhood. But then she calls mid-pitch. Why do you always choose them over me? Your friends are immature, that hobby of yours is a waste of time. Boom, guilt trip activated. Do you fold like a cheap lawn chair, canceling on the crew to binge Netflix rom-com she picked? Or do you stand firm, like the saguaro cactus, baking under the desert sun? This is the battlefield, fellas, and science has mapped it out. Women, from an evolutionary standpoint, are wired to probe for weakness. It's the shit test in pickup artist lingo, but let's call it what it is. Boundary reconnaissance. A landmark study by John Gottman at the University of Washington, the godfather of marriage research, reveals that couples who maintain firm, respectful boundaries during conflicts have divorce rates 50% lower than those who crumble under pressure. Why? Because respect breeds attraction. When she tests your frame, critiquing your poker nights, your man cave projects, or even your bro code loyalty, she's scanning for sand or stone. Sand shifts, stone endures. Attachment theory, pioneered by Mary Ainsworth, backs this.
Secure men with non-negotiable cores foster secure bonds, while anxious appeasers trigger her avoidance side, turning love into leverage. Enter the second secret. Cultivate a non-negotiable self. This isn't stubborn mule mode, it's sovereign leadership. You're not a half-built Lego set waiting for her to snap in the missing pieces. You're a fully assembled fortress, complete with moat and drawbridge, inviting her to visit, but never to renovate. When she pushes, your guide time is selfish. Real men prioritize their women. The weak man apologizes, cancels on the fishing trip, and resents her silently. The conquering man, he responds with calm authority. My time with my buddies is non-negotiable. It's how I stay sharp for us. If you can't respect my boundaries, we need to talk about what respect means in this partnership. No yelling, no pleading, just unshakable truth. You're presenting a world that's yours first, hers second, by grace. She joins the orbit, not the other way around. Why does this flip her switch? It's the allure of the unattainable, straight from social psychology. Elliot Aronson's gain-loss theory in his 1965 classic shows we value most what we earn through challenge, not handout. By refusing to be rearranged like furniture in her vision board, you become the prize, a resource she enhances, not a canvas she paints over. A 2019 survey in the Archives of Sexual Behavior found that 68% of women reported heightened desire for partners who upheld personal autonomy. Think of it as the male equivalent of her yoga retreats or girls' nights out. You're not anti-her, you're pro-you, and that's magnetic. Flashback to Rick, a 45-year-old construction foreman from Seattle I mentored a few years back. Married 18 years, 3 teens, the minivan life, but his wife Lisa had morphed into the boundary buster supreme, dictating his weekend hikes. Too dangerous, stay home with me. Vetoing his craft beer brewing. Smells awful, it's embarrassing. Rick, he'd comply. Bitterness brewing like his abandoned IPA. Spark, a blowout over his annual guys fishing derby in the Cascades. Instead of caving, Rick channeled this secret. Lisa, those trips are my reset button, non-negotiable. They make me the husband and dad you deserve. Love me or love this version of us. Stone cold delivery. Lisa fumed, but by week's end, she packed his cooler, whispering, "Be safe. I get it now." Fast forward, their marriage hit a renaissance. More intimacy, less control. Rick's not just tolerated, he's treasured. Brothers, this secret isn't about walls. It's about worthy gates. A non-negotiable self signals, I'm whole, I'm worthy, I'm choosing you from strength, not scarcity. She'll test, hell, she must. But when you hold, her admiration skyrockets. You're the oak in her garden, not the weed she pulls. Forge this core and watch her lean in, not push away. Solid? Let's roll into Secret 3.
Now that you've forged your unbreakable core with a non-negotiable self, gentlemen, it's time to sharpen the blade of authenticity. Because holding boundaries is just the foundation. True conquest demands you speak the unvarnished truth. Welcome to secret number 3, love as honest critique. Picture this. It's date night in a bustling Chicago steakhouse, the kind with sizzling ribeyes and dim lights that make every glance feel electric. She's across from you, twirling her hair, fishing for that ego boost. Do you like this dress? I wasn't sure. It hugs a bit too much around the hips. Or maybe it's deeper, post-fight in your Denver suburb kitchen. She's venting about blowing her promotion interview, blaming the boss, the economy, anything but her half-hearted prep. Your old playbook? Nod along, murmur, "You look amazing, babe," or "He's an idiot, you'll crush the next one." Safe, sure, but it keeps you in the yes-man penalty box, brother. Let's cut through the fluff with science. Every woman enters relationships wired to seek validation, a holdover from social bonding in our tribal past. Evolutionary psychologist Roy Baumeister's work in Is There Anything Good About Men highlights how women thrive on emotional mirroring, but unchecked, it breeds entitlement. A 2022 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology dove deeper. Constant affirmation without pushback creates echo chambers that erode self-awareness, spiking anxiety by 25% in long-term couples. She's not just fishing for compliments. She's testing if you'll co-sign her fantasy or call her bluff. Coddling her self-inflicted wounds? That's emotional morphine. Short-term relief, long-term addiction. You become her enabler, not her equal. Enter the third secret. Weaponize love as truthful critique. This isn't harsh judgment. It's compassionate clarity delivered with the steady hand of a surgeon. When she probes for flattery on a questionable choice, say that impulse buy draining the savings, or spirals into victim mode over a crisis she brewed, you don't sugarcoat. You offer calm, high-value truth. Honestly, that dress isn't your best. Let's find one that highlights your confidence instead. Or, sounds like you're dodging the real issue, fear of stepping up. You've got the chops. Own it and prep harder next time. No malice, no lectures, just unflappable reality wrapped in "I believe in you." Why does this shatter and rebuild her attraction? It's the shock of authenticity in a world of filters. Carl Rogers' humanistic psychology, foundational in couples therapy, proves that congruent feedback, honest yet empathetic, fosters deeper trust than blind agreement. Her self-image cracks because she expected a yes-man cheer squad, but you're the unflappable emotional filter, the sole reality check in her Instagram-fueled echo chamber. Initial anger flares, maybe a slammed door or icy silence, but science says it's fleeting. A 2017 meta-analysis in Psychological Bulletin found that truthful confrontations in relationships boost respect by 32%, turning resentment into reverence. She respects the man who won't indulge her delusion because deep down, she craves growth through your unyielding gaze. Take Mark, a 39-year-old accountant from Boston I pulled from the brink last spring. Married 14 years, 2 school-age kids, the works. But his wife, Emily, had weaponized complaints into a daily ritual. "Does my hair look okay?" It was a frizzy mess from stress. Or, "I hate my job. It's all their fault." After she skipped networking events. Mark, perpetual pacifier. "You look perfect, babe." Or,
"It's gonna be fine."
"He's an idiot. You'll crush the next one." Result? She strayed emotionally, confiding in a coworker. We retooled. Next meltdown over a botched recipe for book club? Mark hit with critique. "Babe, the dish fell flat because you rushed it. Next time, let's taste test together. You're a rock star when you focus." Emily bristled, tears flowed. But 48 hours later, she enrolled in a cooking class, then planned a surprise anniversary hike. Their bond? Transformed. More raw talks, hotter sparks. Mark's no longer the doormat. He's the mirror she polishes herself against. Fellas, this secret elevates love from comfort food to iron sharpening iron. Honest critique isn't cruelty. It's the gift of seeing her fully, flaws and fire. She'll push back, but when she leans in, it's real, forged in truth. You've got the core, the boundaries, now the voice. Ready to treat the relationship as an add-on, not the whole show? Secret 4 awaits.
With your voice now honed to deliver truth like a well-aimed arrow, gentlemen, let's elevate the strategy to the realm of self-sufficiency. Because honesty alone won't conquer. It must be backed by the unshakable truth that you're the sun, and she's a welcome planet in your orbit. Strap in for secret number 4, relationship as an add-on. Envision a crisp fall evening in upstate New York, leaves crunching under your boots as you wrap up a solo hike along the Finger Lakes Trail. Your phone dings. It's her, the girlfriend who's been your steady co-pilot for 2 years. Or perhaps the wife who's shared your Buffalo Bills highs and lows for a decade. "I'm done. This isn't working. I need space." The old you? Heart in your throat, dialing back frantically. "Please don't go, I'll fix it, whatever it takes." Cue the spiral. Therapy pledges, grand gestures, a life derailed like a freight train off the tracks. But not anymore, brothers. You've leveled up. Science lays it bare. Women are primed to equate your completeness with your desirability. Attachment theory's anxious avoidant dance, dissected by researchers like Amir Levine in Attached, shows that men who signal emotional independence trigger her pursuit instinct. It's the protest behavior reversal. A 2023 study in evolutionary behavioral sciences crunched the numbers. Partners who view relationships as enhancements, not essentials, see 45% higher retention rates as her brain's loss aversion circuitry lights up. She's not leaving to punish you. She's testing if her departure is your apocalypse. Spoiler, it's not. By framing the relationship as an add-on, a cherry on your sundae of purpose, not the bowl itself, you flip the script. You're the operating system, fully booted and running. She's the app that adds flair, but deleting it won't crash the machine. Here's the fourth secret in action. Communicate, through word and deed, that you're complete without her. No dramatics, no hidden barbs, just serene certainty. She drops the bomb. I think we should break up. You pause, breathe, then, I'm sorry to hear that. It stings, and I'll miss our adventures, the laughs over bad takeout, those late-night drives. But my life? It'll keep thriving, hitting the gym at dawn, crushing that promotion, chasing sunsets with the dog. Zero begging, zero bluff. It's raw ownership. When she clocks that her exit isn't your exile, it's your drama-free upgrade, a vacation from the emotional roller coaster. Existential panic hits like a nor'easter. Her deepest dread? Irrelevance. You're confirming the brutal math. She's additive, not foundational. And here's the psychological gold. She doesn't fear losing you half as much as she fears you thriving sans her. That asymmetry? It's the lockpick to her respect and raw attraction, per Helen Fisher's fMRI scans showing mate value disparity amps dopamine floods. This isn't callous detachment, it's magnetic self-mastery. A 2021 paper in Personal Relations Journal quantified it. Men exhibiting secure base independence, you're her safe harbor, but not her crutch, report 52% more passionate encounters. You're not anti-relationship, you're pro-abundance, signaling, join my empire, but it's built without needing your bricks. She shifts from controller to collaborator, chasing the man whose world expands hers without eclipsing it. Meet Dave, a 41-year-old brewery owner from Portland, Oregon, who walked into my office a walking wound last fall. Married 16 years, 4 kids, the craft beer empire they'd built together. But his wife, Jenna, had grown restless. Threats of leaving over his obsessive brewing hours, emotional affairs flickering like faulty neon. Dave, the classic chaser, flowers, counseling marathons, a life paused. We recalibrated. Next ultimatum, I'm out, find someone who prioritizes you less. Dave delivered the add-on ethos. Jenna, this hurts, no doubt. I'll cherish our memories, the kids' recitals we cheered through. But without us, I'll pour my soul into the taps, mentor young brewers, hike the gorge solo. Life's too rich to stall. Cool as Cascade hops. Jenna? Radio silence for days, then a tearful return. Seeing you post that brewery expansion, I realized I don't want to miss it. Today, their marriage brews stronger. Shared tastings, no more threats. Dave's not just kept, he's king of his castle again. Gentlemen, this secret isn't armor against love. It's the blueprint for unbreakable union. Treat her as the upgrade she is, and watch her install herself permanently. You've got truth, boundaries, independence. Now transcend it all. Secret 5, the ultimate power move.
You've built the empire of self, truth as your sword, boundaries as your walls, independence as your moat. Now, gentlemen, it's time to ascend to the pinnacle where conquest becomes effortless transcendence. You framed her as the add-on, now prove it by soaring without her shadow. Behold, secret number 5, the power of transcendence. Imagine a stormy Tuesday in Seattle, rain lashing the windows of your craftsman bungalow as you lace up for that pre-dawn run along the waterfront. She stormed out last night after a heated spat over weekend plans, your fishing trip versus her spa day, texting, "Maybe we're done." The old script? You chase shadows, unanswered calls, regret-fueled whiskey, a weekend wasted scrolling her socials. But you're no longer that man. You run harder, breathe deeper, emerge glistening not just from rain, but from rebirth. This, brothers, is the final key. When she leaves or threatens to, you don't crumble, you bloom brighter. Rooted in the iron laws of psychology, this secret harnesses the post-separation growth phenomenon. Positive psychology pioneer Martin Seligman's PERMA model, positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment, shows that men who redirect energy post-conflict toward personal missions report 60% higher life satisfaction, per a 2020 study in the Journal of Positive Psychology. Evolutionary angle? David Buss's mate selection research underscores that women are drawn to high-value males, providers of genetic and resource gold, who thrive irrespective of her presence. Her absence? Not your punishment, but your catalyst. She thought pulling away would clip your wings, instead it launches you. By mastering thriving without her, you create the existential crisis she needs, realizing her power was illusory, a cloud she cast over your sun. You conquer not by clinging, but by outshining her need to control. So how do you wield this in the trenches of daily life? Practical applications, fellas, blue-collar blueprints for the boardroom dad or the ranch hand alike. First, ritualize your mission mornings. Wake at 5 a.m., no matter the midnight meltdown. Brew black coffee, journal 3 wins from yesterday. That closed deal, the kid's proud grin, then hit the grind. Gym, garage tinkering, or plotting your side hustle. Text her? Skip the miss you grovel. Share a casual, crushed my run, world's opening up. She sees thriving, not thirsting. Second, curate your circle. When drama erupts, lean on bros over breakup ballads. Friday, poker or pickup ball, not pity parties. A 2019 Harvard Grant study update confirms strong male friendships buffer relational stress, boosting resilience 40%. Tell her, heading out with the crew, recharge mode. It signals my world's vast with or without you. Third, document the glow-up. Post-separation or simulated via no-contact weeks, track metrics. Pounds lifted, books cracked, networks expanded. Share subtly. Instagram story of your rebuilt deck, not desperate DMs. Science from the American Psychological Association 2022 shows visual proof of ascent triggers her mate guarding flip. She chases the upgraded you. Fourth, embrace micro-transcendences daily. She snaps over dinner delay? Cool, grab and take out solo. Got you later. Use the hour for a podcast on stoicism, Epictetus vibes. Control what you can. Fifth, annual solo sabbaticals. Block a week yearly, no negotiations, for a road trip, silent retreat, or skill quest. Welding class, anyone? Communicate. This is my reset. Join next time if it fits. It cements you're the phoenix, not the pyre. Real-world proof? Enter Carlos, a 47-year-old trucker from El Paso I coached through the dust storms of divorce last year. Married 22 years, she bailed for a freer life, citing his road miles as neglect. Carlos? Initial crater, booze, blues, but we activated transcendence. Mornings became manifestos, logging hauls as conquests, weekends welded hot rods with his crew, evenings devoured audiobooks on empire building. 6 months, he launched a trucking consultancy. Dated effortlessly, including her remorseful reach-out. She begged back, but he chose his throne. Appreciate the offer, but I'm booked solid. Today, Carlos thrives. Fitter, richer, magnetic. Her crisis, his coronation. Warriors, this isn't escape, it's elevation. Transcendence reprograms her, from controller to convert. You've got the full arsenal. Indifference, unyieldable self, truthful love, add-on framing. Live it daily and watch her orbit tighten. But hold, before we close, remember, this code isn't for cages, it's for kings.
Brothers, we've traversed the battlefield together. From the electric hook that shattered your illusions to the transcendent heights where you rise above the fray. You've absorbed the 5 secrets, emotional indifference to disarm her storms, the non-negotiable self to stand as an unbreakable oak. Love is honest critique to sharpen her growth with your unflinching truth. The relationship as an add-on to remind her you're the empire, not the annex. And the power of transcendence to bloom brighter in her absence. This isn't a checklist, gentlemen. It's a revolution. A psychological blueprint etched in the fire of 30 years counseling warriors like you. From Rust Belt mechanics rebuilding engines and hearts to Silicon Valley execs debugging code and commitments. Stop playing the desperate game of winning her over with flowers and flattery that fade like morning fog on the Mississippi. Start scripting the epic of winning your own life, where every dawn is your domain, every boundary a badge of sovereignty. She won't melt for the man who begs at her feet, scripting sonnets of surrender. She'll ignite for the king who is non-negotiable, whose gaze says, "Enter my world or watch from afar." Remember this core code. She doesn't fear losing you in the abstract. She dreads the thunderclap reality of you not fearing her loss at all. That asymmetry is the dynamite in her desire, the primal pull that flips the dynamic from her throne to your orbit. Use this truth like a talisman. Embed this code in your veins and witness the alchemy. Her tests turn to tributes, her chaos to craving, your marriage or courtship reborn as a forge of mutual fire. But knowledge unchallenged is knowledge unused. Welcome to the Truth Hub, your unfiltered arena for accountability, where we dissect real-time dramas, swap war stories, and forge unbreakable brotherhoods. Bookmark it, and let's turn these secrets into your lived legend. Because in the arena of love, the man who forgets the code gets forgotten first. To lock this in, warriors, take this lightning round quiz right now. Answer in the comments below. Be raw, no one judges. Which secret are you leaking power on? 1. When she flakes on plans, do you A. text begging for reschedule, old you, or B. hit the gym solo and post your glow up, transcendent you? 2. Facing her critique of your guy time, you A. apologize and cancel, sandcastle mode, or B. affirm it's a non-negotiable and invite her to level up with you, oak strong? 3. Post-argument, your vibe is A. scrolling her feed in regret, fear fuel, or B. journaling wins and plotting your next conquest, indifferent empire. Drop your answers, e.g. 1B, 2A, 3B. Tag a brother who needs this boot camp. Your comment is not optional, it's your oath. Who's first? Let's build the hub unbreakable. You've got the map, now claim the kingdom.